It's a terrible football show, all right?
I want whatever you guys are smoking right now.
Come on, Shane. OH. OH.
Io, baby,
go.
yeah. Shane, I swear to God.
Welcome to a terrible football show.
That's my quarterback and my teammate, man.
Ruins my fucking holiday every damn year.
Alex,
What up?
you can thoroughly kiss my ass.
Why not let us decide the top four?
Yeah, let a terrible football show
Let a terrible
decide the top
football
four.
show.
Fuck you, Shane.
Roll Tide. Have a good one, guys.
Oh,
Have a good one.
oh, yeah, he's got to go. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
I like that Baker Mayfield to myself, man. He was baking up there in the Browns, and it just turned into a big old shit pile. So,
Get that right. I will fly you out and take you to a game in Dallas of your fucking choice.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he's successful at just giving his terrible opinions, so why can't I? It's a terrible football show after all. Welcome to a terrible football show, episode 73. And boys, we've made it to the promised land. We made it to the promised land, baby. Week 0 took place this last week and football's back. Let's fucking go, boys. It's here. Football is in the air. You know, we had week 0, we got week 1 of college. Next week we have NFL kicking off. 53-man rosters are getting set across the league. A lot of releases are happening, a lot of news around the league, college football, a lot of good stuff happening right now. And we are very excited to all be here. Well, Shane's not here at the moment, unfortunately. He is not feeling well. T's and P's to him. He may pop in, say hi, all that stuff. But, you know, we got Jacob and Ricky here. Boys, how we doing? How we feeling?
I'm dirty right now. Like really, really dirty.
Yeah, you are.
I just hold on. Oh. I just got off of a roof probably 30 minutes ago, pretty much, and I sped home on 650 milligrams of caffeine and no food all day. So it's a great day.
Starving, I imagine. I'm pretty hungry.
Caffeine helps.
I'm looking forward to dinner later, having some chicken and rice. It's gonna be great. I'm very excited. With the way the lady makes it, just got the nice bed of rice. You know how she got it all seasoned up, and then just put like leg quarters on it, put it in the oven, let it all kind of cook and bake together. Ooh, buddy, delicious.
A lot of butter.
Yeah, she uses a decent amount of butter. Some good shit. I'm ready for it. Ricky, how are you, man?
Man, I tell you what, it is one busy week so far, and it's
I
just going to
feel
get
you.
even busier for us. Labor Day, for some reason, it is the third, the week before Labor Day is the third busiest week of the year for us, followed by 4th of July Memorial Day weekend. That's obviously the two, but yeah, it's been pretty busy.
Yeah, no, it's a real busy time for me as well, because for the first time in like my company's history, we have like, fall season like required displays that we're having to do because, I'm in like lawn and garden business and everything. So come fall, my business dies, but we have displays that we're doing. So I've been very busy. Past couple weeks, been a lot of fun, and then just busy in other aspects of work, my secondary gig and everything, and then just stuff at home, man. It's been a busy time. I am excited for Labor Day. I'm excited for my 3-day weekend, but not just because it's a 3-day weekend, but because come Thursday, August 31st, your boy here will be venturing the stars in Starfield. Come over to Gamesthetic this Saturday and listen to me talk about it. I'm looking forward to it. But also, some other things I'm looking forward to. Number one, Rogue Energy is about to launch a couple of new hydration flavors. You need to go check it out. They are launching sour watermelon and I don't remember what was the name of it, Jacob. It's orange. It's orange cranberry. What was the name of the flavor? Radiant Rush. Yeah. So you can use our referral link, promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off. Go pick this flavor up when they launch this Thursday. So that's also an exciting thing for this Thursday. Go over to Agent Inc. as well. We have the best jerseys on the site. We have a trash can. Why wouldn't you want it? And join the Discord. You can come chat with us. And most importantly, go down to Run Your Pool for college and NFL. Join those for free. Compete against us because here today we will be doing week 1 college predictions. We got 20 games lined up which features, of course, our FCS game of the week, our FBS game of the week, our terrible game of the week. 3 games that all 4 of us picked, and then I think I just want to have a nice number of 20 at all times. So I just threw in like 5 extra. Because we're always going to do ranked matches, like ranked versus ranked matches, like no matter what, So I think 20 is just going to be the number we're going to do all year. So, yeah, got a lot of good games to predict. I got to tell you this, boys. I have never been more excited for a week of football like I am this week, because I can't tell you the level of confidence that I feel in some of these bets that I've got placed, boys. It's going to be a good week of betting, boys. I'm feeling good about it.
And I also, even though it's not part of the Run Your Pool, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, I have an FCS upset coming this weekend.
Just
and
like
no,
last year.
it's not some crummy school that's going to lose to an FCS school. No, it is going to be good, boys. It's going to be a good one.
Can't wait to hear it. Ricky texted me about that earlier. He's like, I think I want this to be an every year thing, or I just like predict like an upset week 1 or something. Hey, you almost got it last year. That's what's hilarious. You were so close. It was South Dakota State and Iowa. You were so close.
Yeah, and the best tight end to ever play the game of football got hurt, and it just happens. It's okay. He's going to win a Super Bowl one of these years for Green Bay. Actually, it won't be for Green Bay. He'll get traded then win a Super Bowl.
That'd be the preferred outcome for me personally. So that's how I'd prefer it to play out. But speaking of greatest players of all time, shout out to the greatest college quarterback in NCAA history. Bailey Zappi got released by the New England Patriots, so that was unfortunate. They also released Malik Cunningham, and all they got left is Mac Jones on the roster. So what a world of football that we're in right now, but also with the world of football we're in right now, boys, let me ask you, you got to tell me right now, how we feeling about Trey Lance going to the Cowboys?
Oh, son of a...
It doesn't make any sense. Will Greer is 10 times better than Trey Lance is.
He popped off.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a Patriot? Is Will Greer a Patriot now? Is that what's about to happen?
I hope so. I honestly hope he goes to the Patriots, because I think he's Bill Belichick's type of guy.
Man, he popped off. Classy move by Dallas, though, letting him start the entire game, whatever, so he can, try to get a spot, since he was going to get waived. But yeah, Trey Lance is your backup now. Does this put Dak on notice?
No.
No.
I disagree. To me, this puts Dak on notice.
Trey isn't even going to be quarterback number 2. That's Cooper Rush.
I know. I still think this move puts Dak on notice. You don't make this trade, even if it is just like people say, oh, it's just a 4th round pick. You don't make this trade unless you have an idea of what you can potentially do with this player. Okay, because I understand he's not a star. In high school, college, and pro, this dude's got like 400 snaps, which is unfucking real that it's that low. So he's a project. But you don't make that trade for a guy that went 3rd overall, that has supposedly all this talent. You don't make that trade just like, well, yeah, we need a 3rd stringer. Nah, you don't do that. That's not how the NFL works. Even if it is the Cowboys and Jerry Jones, who is a little senile. But to me, it puts Dak on notice. Maybe not this season, maybe not next season, but it puts Dak on notice. This is a move that, in my opinion, is not one just kind of. It is one to laugh at, but I'm just saying you don't make this move unless you have a plan in place of some capacity. Because it's like one of those things. It's like, yeah, it's like fuck it, let's do it. He's a raw talent. He hasn't got much play time. Let's see what we can do with it. In my opinion, it puts Dak on notice.
Getting Colt McCoy would have probably put Dak on notice. Getting Trey Lance doesn't put anybody on notice. Just put us fans on notice on how much we need a new owner. That's what it does for us.
I mean, that's also fair. That's also fair, but I don't know, man. I'm just saying it. I think it puts Dak on notice.
I love me some Jerry Jones. But for the love of God, if you're going to make a trade, at least get a player, not a project. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
See, what you're preaching right now is what the Packers fans were preaching the last few years when they drafted Jordan Love. They used a 1st round draft pick for a backup quarterback for 3 years.
Yeah.
True, but at the same time, though, in the long run, the Packers move made a little bit more sense because the fact is Aaron Rodgers started doing all this bull crap. I'm coming back. No, I'm not coming back. I'm coming back. No, I'm not coming back. And he started all this little drama queen drama drama that he likes to do. So I understood that. This makes no sense. What's the point of drafting a quarterback like you said, who has 400 snaps total between high school and now?
I will
Yeah, I'm
say,
not a big fan of Jerry. I'm a big fan of his son because his son has done some really good has really good picks over the years. You know, he was responsible for the #1 offensive line a
yeah,
few years back that we had for almost 6-7 years total. Jerry's just getting to the point where he's a fourth round pick we wasted. The 4th round is where you see a lot of undiscovered
starters.
talent.
That's where you
or
get
hidden
starters
talent.
coming out.
Yes. And Trey just hasn't proved to anybody that he's even worth a 4th round at this point.
Yeah.
There's a reason why San Francisco never started him. Well, they did, but
They
not for
tried.
very long.
Yeah, they tried. Then he got hurt.
And then in came Purdy.
Yeah. No, I did see something involving the 49ers and their drafting. I thought was pretty fascinating where, someone put up like all of their first round draft picks from like, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch time period. And it's just like you had one hit with Nick. You had like one like serviceable starter. I don't remember who it was. And then you just had bust after bust after bust. And it's just like they've just gotten lucky. I mean, they lucked in the Brock Purdy. You know what I mean? And there's going to always be reports of he said, she said, or whatever the case is, whatever. And the general reports is that like Kyle wanted Mac, but people above Kyle wanted Trey. So I don't know. The only thing that I can say out of this that makes me a little happy is that maybe now people don't clown on the Bears as much about Mitchell Trubisky because now we can clown on the 49ers for giving up 3 firsts for Trey Lance that never did anything. I understand ours was the draft that had Patrick Mahomes, but at least Trubisky did make a Pro Bowl, I guess, and we won a division and we went to the playoffs twice. So, I mean, it's something, I guess. At least not what the 49ers did with Trey. So, woo, that's one monkey off my back. Yeah, especially now that we got Fieldsy.
I mean, even still with Mitch's case, I think that was more of the Bears letting Mitch down than Mitch letting the Bears down.
Oh, 100%. 100%. The Bears fucked Mitch, man. Matt Nagy fucked Mitch. Like,
yeah, big time.
100%. In this case, the 49ers straight up fucked Trey.
Well, I mean, yeah, like you give up 3 first-round picks for a guy and end up starting Mr. Irrelevant.
Exactly. Who almost wins Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And if he wouldn't have gotten hurt, I would have said he would have won Rookie of the Year too, in my opinion.
More than likely.
Yeah. No. Lots of stuff coming out of the NFL right now. A few trades here and there. Lots of cuts across the league. I did see where Jonathan Taylor is, as of now, not set to be traded with the Colts. He's going to miss at least the first 4 games because they got him on the PUP list. There's still a holdout right now with Chris Jones.
That's all fishy. That's all fishy.
Yeah, I agree.
That's just the Colts pulling one over on him one last time to not trade him or to lower his trade stock.
I was seeing, obviously, everyone was seeing a lot of reports that the Eagles were really interested. And man, just imagine if Jonathan Taylor went to the Eagles. The backfield of Taylor Swift.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Taylor Swift backfield.
No.
Saw that the Dolphins are interested. I even saw that the Bears made a phone call. I don't think we're going to do anything with it, but the Bears called about Jonathan Taylor. The Bears also called about Chris Jones. I don't think we're going to do with either one of them. But I'm glad that we're making phone calls. I'm happy to hear that. That's something. I'm here for it.
I would love to see him on the Bears.
Which one?
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Let's go.
That's like the one offensive position you guys are missing desperately is a running back.
Yeah, I know. Khalil Herbert, I think, is okay, but he's not our guy. You know what I mean? He's just like I never thought Monty was our guy, in my opinion. And, obviously I was correct on that. He was just never our guy. But no, Jonathan Taylor went to the Bears, that'd be awesome, but that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen because Jonathan Taylor apparently really wants to go down to Miami, but the Colts don't want to trade him within the AFC. It's kind of one of the holdups on that.
I was reading a report before we got on here, though, guys. They're officially not trading him yet. They're going to keep him on that PUP list for now.
Yeah, which is, one last cucking to him, basically. I don't know. And no word on Will Greer, though. I see that he's trending right now, so I went to go click on him. I mean, it was just simply raving about how good he was that last preseason game. So I'll be looking forward to seeing who claims him, where he goes and stuff. But no, I mean I'm super pumped for the start of the NFL season. I think Lions and Chiefs is going to be a really good matchup, even though the Chiefs should walk away with an easy win, just because it's the Chiefs. But I think it should be a pretty fun game. Also, Max Duggan got waived too by the Chargers.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. So
Probably his size.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. Lots of rookies starting. We got the confirmed information that C.J. Stroud's going to be the starter. We already know Anthony's going to be the starter up in Indianapolis. We already knew about Bryce. So it's gonna be a fun week 1 of the NFL. I'm pretty excited to make all of our predictions next week on that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, and then also I wanted to quickly address this. It's always funny to see like that NFL team like claim that they're trying to be competitive and stuff, but then they do every move possible that shows that they're just tanking. That's the Cardinals. With the trades that they've made, they just waived Colt McCoy, who had been their starter. And I want to stress, Colt's not a great top tier quarterback or anything. He's not, but he's still a serviceable backup. He's still a serviceable guy that can play the position for you. It won't be to a high level, but he'll get the job done to some extent. So Cardinals are tanking. I mean, they got the Texans first round pick. And they know they're going to suck. In my opinion, they're just. I'll be very curious if the tanking plan succeeds and they get like, let's say, the first overall pick. Let's say the Texans get like the 5th pick, for example, because I do think the Texans are going to be a lot more competitive than we give them credit for. I said that in the predictions because they've got nothing to play for in that pick regard. You know what I mean? Like they tanking doesn't help them. Like this team's about to do their best to try and be competitive, especially if they can cut the Cardinals out of a little bit higher pick. But no, if they get the first pick, man, it's going to be interesting. Like, who's going to want Kyler? Because they're not going to – they're going to get rid of him. They're going to go for Caleb Williams. Who would want Kyler Murray in that contract next year? That's going to be a fun conversation. I can't think of anyone who would just like, yes, give me fucking Kyler Murray right now. I can't think of a single team that would be like that.
Tennessee.
Maybe.
I can see Tennessee making a move for him.
Yeah.
They're not that desperate.
They're not, but Tannehill's only getting older.
Yeah. And Will Levis is going to stink.
Yep.
Because he puts mayo in his coffee. And he eats bananas with the peel on.
Did you see what Stephen A. Smith said about Will Levis earlier?
No, I did not. What did he say?
He said the first time he heard the name of Will Levis, he knew he was a white guy because he put mayonnaise in his coffee.
Yep. Man, that is just such an odd thing to do. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I'm not going to go out of my way and try that, but that just sounds ungodly disgusting. But
I'll tell you what, though, who I'm most excited for, who got announced to get the start this year, Sam Howell at the Commanders.
Oh yeah.
I'm really excited to see him because I think he could be a damn good quarterback as long as that offensive line can protect him. But yeah, it is Washington, so
yeah, and Washington's a team, in my opinion, that I think is going to fucking suck too. Like, I think potential first overall pick kind of suck. It won't be Sam Howell's fault though. I think Sam will be fine. But you know what's going to happen? He'll be fine. They'll suck completely as a team, and they're gonna, if they can, they're going for Caleb Williams too. Caleb Williams is a Commanders fan. That poor soul. That poor soul. Oh man, imagine growing up being a Washington fan. Couldn't be me. I just suffer being a Bears and a Jags fan. Speaking of Jags, you guys see the WWE Championship belts?
Yep.
Those are sick, man. Expensive, but sick. But I think the funniest thing is that in WWE's official shop, whatever, naturally they removed the Jaguars belt because the Jags is an AEW, So I thought that was pretty funny. But you can't get the Jags belt in the NFL shop. But I thought that was my first thought when I saw the belts, is like, do they have one for the Jaguars?
Well, see, it was funny too because there was a lot of advertisement for those belts, and Jacksonville was one of the belts that was advertised the most.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was just like a big middle finger to AEW for a little bit, but It was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Mhm.
I did see that the Bears were advertised quite a bit with those championship belts. I'm just saying.
That's because they'll probably never have another championship again for as long as they're in love.
Whoa.
You're talking about the team that's going to have the NFL MVP this year.
Yeah, let's pump the brakes on this.
Just a,
Look, listen, you can hate all you want, but I want to tell both of you, Jacob, I'm sorry, you're about to get shot in the crossfire here. I want to tell both of you what I told my boss, because my boss is a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. So we got into a conference call like a week ago, and he attempted to try to talk some shit to me about the Bears. He attempted. And because there was another Cowboys fan on that call on the team that we're on. And I just kind of shut him down. I'm just like, man, you can talk all this shit, but you guys are just set up for a season of disappointment. I'm set up for a great damn year. Because the difference between me and you guys have such unrealistic high expectations of making it to a Super Bowl that you guys aren't going to make. All I got to do is win 8 games, man, and I'm happy. Like, our seasons are vastly different. So you need to pump the brakes. So just remember that, boys. I'm going to have a good year. You guys will suffer.
Always. We always do.
No, I mean, I feel that. I mean, look at the teams that I follow in sports, man. All my teams fucking suck. This is the first time where they're going to be okay. Bears fan, Jags fan, Orlando Magic fan, Hawaii fan, Miami. That's the only one that could be like consistently competitive, and they're not, So, I follow a lot of shitty teams. This is my life. I suffer. I just like the suffering. I get off on it, I guess. I don't know. All right, let's talk some college, boys. Who watched some week 0 this weekend?
I did.
I did too.
I did not really get a chance to watch any football this weekend, boys. I did get to watch some highlights though. So
the hype for Sam Hartman is.
I was just about to bring him up.
He's overhyped.
Really?
It was against Navy.
I get that.
Of course, he's going to do good against a weak Navy team. Navy hasn't looked this weak in a very long time.
I agree to that.
I can't wait to see him actually go against the Ohio State defense in a few weeks.
When he beats you, like I predicted.
No. I did see that Kyle McCord is getting the start though this weekend.
Yeah, I saw that too because I saw where there was like a question of like who's going to be the Ohio State starter. I'm like, I thought it was Kyle McCord.
Well, it's crazy because even it was up until yesterday, Ohio State and Alabama didn't have a definitive quarterback, which is crazy.
Did Alabama name
in
theirs?
The country. Huh?
Did Alabama name theirs? I didn't see it.
Not yet. They have not named theirs yet.
Who's even on that roster?
And when it comes to Ohio State, I would not be surprised if Kyle McCord starts week 1, Devin Smith starts week 2, and they just keep battling back and forth.
let's see. Y'all play Indiana this week, and Youngstown State's next week, right?
I'm pretty sure they are.
I'd say that shouldn't be a.
All right, let me go down here. Let me look at these quarterbacks for Alabama.
Yeah, we have Youngstown State next week, and then Western Kentucky, and then we're at Notre Dame.
All right, I've heard of a couple of these quarterbacks. I don't know who the starter would be because they have Jesus Christ, they have like 3 freshmen. Yeah, they have 3 freshmen on this team. Then just
for Alabama.
And then just sophomores.
Yeah.
Sophomores and freshmen is all they got. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like it'd be Cade Carruth, I think's his name. I feel like that guy would probably be the starter. But maybe Jalen Milroe also be their starter. I don't know. We'll see.
Throughout the offseason, Jalen was the one that everybody was talking about the most.
Okay.
But clearly he hasn't won the quarterback battle because they still haven't named their starting quarterback.
Right. Hey, speaking of Ohio State and Indiana, Jacob, how are you feeling about that game?
I'm feeling pretty good. Indiana is kind of weak this year. They lost a decent amount of talent. But Indiana, as far as the Big Ten goes, Indiana, Purdue, Northwestern, Nebraska, those teams like to play spoilers every year. And they will sneak up and grab a W if they can.
Are you feeling minus 28 good?
I really need to see how good our defense is, honestly, because the last few years our defense has been kind of weak.
Whoa. Time out. You literally just talked crap not 5 minutes ago on how Hartman's going to be going to play against your Ohio State defense, and Ohio State's going to be able to smash Notre Dame, and now you're not sure they could beat Indiana.
Well, hold
Come
on,
on,
hold
man.
on. I didn't say he was gonna do terrible, and I didn't say Ohio State was gonna smash him or anything.
I'm just
I
saying
just said
you
it's gonna be an
basically did.
it's gonna be an actual Power 5 defense.
Okay, that makes sense. But now you're questioning your defense against Indiana.
Oh yeah.
Not even Indiana fans are confident in Indiana this year.
Listen, I just as a fan from the Big Ten, Indiana can sneak one over you.
That's fair.
Very true. Very
They have
true.
before on us.
I'll give you that much. Yes.
So, Jacob, out of all of like the big spreads right now that I've been watching, Ohio State's one of those ones where I bet on it, but I'm not 100% confident like some of the others, right? Because
Yeah.
like some of these big spreads, I do feel very confident in. Like give you an example here, -28 for Tennessee over Virginia. Hammer that. Virginia is going to be like maybe be lucky to win one game this year. Like Tennessee, I think Tennessee will be fine getting -28. Like Michigan, I know they don't have Jim Harbaugh over East Carolina. Give me that -36. USC over Nevada. Nevada fucking sucks. Let me go ahead and establish that. USC -38. Give me that. Wisconsin -27 over Buffalo. I feel pretty good about that one. You know what I mean? I'm trying. Let me find.
How do you feel about the 20-point spread for BYU and Sam Houston?
I don't feel comfortable about that one. I don't like that one. I looked at it. Yeah, I looked at it, but like I don't feel. I think BYU stinks. I mean, that's just the fact of it.
I think they'll be better this year.
I think they will.
I still think they'll be better this year. But not like they're not going to be great.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some games that I kind of avoided because I'm just like I'm a little scared of a couple of them. Like honestly, like one example is UCLA and Coastal Carolina. I did money line on that thing. I don't feel comfortable on the spread because I think Coastal Carolina could keep that one close. No, a lot of good games this weekend. I mean, UTSA and Houston. I will say that one is a lot closer than I thought it would be. It's only like UTSA -1.5 right now.
Yep.
Like I thought Houston sucked. Like what's going on here? UTSA could potentially go 11-1. What are we talking about here?
I think it's just I think it's the hype for Houston. Houston at the beginning of the season, at least the past few years, has had a lot of hype surrounding their program for some reason.
Right.
And I don't understand it.
Well, I think a lot of it, just has to do. You look at their programs overall. Look how well their basketball team has done.
Yeah.
We know. I mean, their programs overall. That's why they get so. That's why they get so hyped about it. And then, of course, I think didn't they have some big win over some decent big wig about 4 or 5 years ago that I can't think of at the top of my head at the moment.
I think
usually,
so. Yeah.
Usually, when something like that happens, your program comes back. Of course, you also remember the Tom Herman years whenever he was down there. So I mean, it just, there's always going to be some type of hype.
I tell you one game that I bet against the odds was the TCU Colorado game because that's a 20.5 point spread, and I do not think TCU is going to be able to cover that big.
I agree. I hammered Colorado on that one. I don't think Colorado is going to be like incredible this year, but you got to keep in mind they're running off transfers. You know what I mean? Like this team is going to be tremendously better than last year. It's not like they're necessarily like going to be like maybe a bowl team, but they're going to be tremendously better. Let me hammer Colorado. I'm not going to hammer they're going to win, but I will hammer 20.5 Colorado. Like 100%.
I think more than probably about 90% of the games this year, Colorado is going to be competitive in. Whether they win them or not, that's a coin flip.
Hey, one game that I was looking at for this for the betting that I thought was I wanted you guys' thoughts on this because of how this past weekend went and who they're playing. How do you guys feel about UMass? Because UMass catching that dub on New Mexico State was wildly impressive to me. UMass is currently +35 against Auburn. Auburn, in my opinion, is going to stink this year.
I don't know. They've got Hugh Freeze.
I get that. Like I like right now, Auburn is -10,000 to win the game money line.
Some part of me wants you to take the point, like take the cover. I wouldn't. I think they're going to come within that cover. That's pretty big.
Yeah,
I think they will. I think they will too, but I would do that as a separate bet.
I would too. Yeah, that's
Yes.
not going to be in a parlay. No, sir. Some of those, like, ooh, let's see how it'll go, is definitely not something I'm not putting that one in a parlay. What'd you guys think about San Diego State and Ohio game? Unfortunately for Ohio, didn't their starter get hurt again? Did I see that right? Curtis Rourke, did he get hurt again?
Yep. He was one of the top quarterbacks coming into this season as far as the MAC conference goes. And he had decently high, as far as MAC schools go, he had decently high draft stock too. So that's a bummer.
Yeah.
They stayed competitive though, even with their backup quarterback. I mean, their backup quarterback, the first throw he threw was an interception.
Yeah,
but
he had 3 picks. CJ Harris ended 18, 41, 203, 1 TD, 3 picks with a 34.8 QBR. Rough.
Yeah,
outing.
but Ohio's defense kept them in that game big time.
It did, yeah. Oh, did you guys see the ref getting pegged in the face? By San Diego State's quarterback, Jalen.
He took it like a champ.
Dude, that had to hurt so bad.
Oh, yeah, man. It was with the pointy end of the football.
I
too.
know. That absolutely had to hurt, man. Jesus Christ.
Could have been as worse as Adam Sandler in the longest yard when he hit the referee in his junk.
Right? Yeah,
That is true. Twice.
Twice. Yeah, that would stink. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That would really stink.
Speaking of stink, something that does 100% stink is USC's defense. Lincoln Riley, man, he cannot have a defensive team, ever.
No.
I know I just said that I actually felt good about USC at minus 38, but that's just literally because of how bad Nevada is going to be this year. Like I think as a team, they've not, since they lost Carson Strong, they're just not they're not a team. But San Jose State, like, while they're a bowl team in my opinion, they're like a 7-win team, 8-win team.
They're a sleeper in the conference this year.
Yeah, so like I can understand how they put up 28 points against a lackluster USC defense, but like when I watch this USC team, it's just like, all right, so offense looks as great as I thought it would, but the defense just looks horrendous, and that's going to come back to bite USC. It makes me look at it more where it's like, damn, we may have USC losing a lot more games than I was anticipating because of just how bad this defense looked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, USC. Well, we got to see how the rest of the week goes, but
yeah,
I think USC might drop a couple spots.
I could see that. I mean, kind of low key, kind of glad to see San Jose State did okay, even though they're technically the Bows rival because they were led by former Bows QB Siobhan Corderio. So I mean, shout out to him through 3 TDs, man. Good rushing attack for them. Nick Marsh the 3 TDs, but no, that I definitely see what you mean. I could see USC maybe dropping because that was not a good outing for them at all. But one game that was kind of interesting to see how it played out was UTEP and Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State get their first win in FBS play. Close game. They're going to be a crappy team for sure, but I mean, I'm telling you, man, Rich Rod's going to find ways to get points on the board. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to find ways. He's going to make it happen. Now, Ricky, how you feeling about how you feeling about Vandy? Let's go ahead and let's get to this. How you feeling about Vandy?
They beat Hawaii. There's nothing impressive about that. No offense.
Whoa.
No offense. There's nothing impressive about beating Hawaii. I'm just saying.
Oh, I don't know.
7 points, by the way.
If they get the 8 wins, like I said they will, I'll be impressed. But they may just suck as bad as what they did 3 years ago. I don't know. I just I overhyped them just to overhype them a little bit. I mean, it's the Commodores, man. Everybody, you can't root against the Vanderbilt Commodores. There's nothing to root against. They never win.
Except in like baseball?
Baseball's their biggest one.
Yeah.
Baseball is definitely their biggest one.
Just imagine meeting that guy where she's like, man, fuck Vanderbilt. It's kind of like Tyler, how Tyler's like, man, fuck Temple. It's like, what? He's like, yeah, they're rivals with Penn State. I'm like, that's not a rivalry. He's like, it's a rivalry.
not
I'm
a
like,
rivalry.
dude, when it's like 74-3, that's not a fucking rivalry. All right, change my mind. Fucking try to.
Penn State rivalry temple. That is hilarious.
It's a thing. I
Oh,
mean, it's a thing that's established, but I can't consider that a rivalry though. No, I mean this weekend for college football, there's definitely some games that I'm pretty excited to watch. We start to get into all the good shit next week. You know what I mean? For FCS play and FBS play, well, I'll tell you right now, FCS play, we got a shitty first week, boys. We have a
I
shitty
disagree.
first week. What do you think? What do you got?
I disagree. I think you're going to see some FCS teams kick some ass this weekend, and you're going to be very, very shocked when it does happen, man. Okay? Here we go. Here we go, gentlemen. My upset pick for week number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to direct your attention to 2 FCS football players. Let me get their names up, by the way, where you will, because you are going to learn very, very good and well who these 2 players are. One's name is Paxton DeLaurent, and the other one is a guy by the name of Geno Hess, who happens to be one of the best FCS running backs in the entire league. They are going to be the best quarterback running back duo in the entire FCS this coming season. Gentlemen, FCS upset of the week. I'm picking Southeast Missouri State to upset Kansas State in week 1 at Kansas State.
Wow.
Listen to me, gentlemen. This Geno Hess kid is one kid that you've got to take a look at. Go look at his highlights. Go look how explosive he is. This kid could easily be an FBS running back. Easily an FBS running back. The quarterback, Paxton DeLaurent, he does not turn the ball over. He is a very, very smart quarterback. And yes, they have the chance to upset Kansas State. I know
Wow.
you guys are shocked because the simple fact is Kansas State did lose Deuce Vaughn, and I understand that Kansas State's a high-profile deal. The one thing about Kansas State that I do question, though, I question their defense this year. Can they
That's fair.
overhype their defense that they had last year? Because if you guys remember, Kansas State's defense was one of the best, if not the top in the Big 12. I don't think they're going to be like that this year. So there is a lot of opportunity right there. And to go on top of that, Southeast Missouri State, with fairness, is ranked preseason number 13 in the FCS. Picked to win their conference. I don't think they're going to win it all because I think there's still a few teams above them. South Dakota State, even though they did lose Tucker Craft and a few other key positions, they have some backups that came up from last year that are still going to be very, very good. North Dakota State's always going to be in there, and you
Montana
still
State.
have those few. Montana State, you still have those few who are going to be in there, who are going to be able to do. Who are going to be able to be crunched in there. Another honorable, I will have a couple of honorable mentions, gentlemen, that you guys might want to take a look at. Even though Mercer looked absolutely terrible last week, they could beat Ole Miss. I don't think they're going to because I think Ole Miss is going to be able to wear them down in the secondary very, very quickly because it's Lane Kiffin. The other one that I would look to is Southeastern Louisiana over Mississippi State. Why?
Mm.
Because Southeastern Louisiana has one of the best secondaries in the FCS. They tied for, I think it was either 5th or 6th in interceptions last year in the FCS. Guess who they were tied with? None other than South Dakota State themselves, who ended up winning the championship. The only reason I wouldn't pull the trigger so quick on Southeastern Louisiana, the only reason I wouldn't pull the trigger so quick on Southeastern Louisiana is because their defense, besides their secondary, their defensive line, it's not proven enough. They're not going to be able to stop. They're not going to be able to get to Will Rogers like they need to in order to be able to have that kind of an upset over the FCS. The rest of them, there's a few of them that are in there. Let me pull up some of the FCS games real quick. That way I don't forget any of them. Because there was one more. Some of these guys you're not going to really. I don't really consider.
Western Carolina over
like
Arkansas.
No, if Western Carolina beats Arkansas, I quit being an Arkansas fan. I'm telling you that right now. Jacob can write it on the board. Right, you can write it on the board. Western Carolina wins, and I will be in attendance for that game. By the way, Western Carolina wins. I'm done with the Razorbacks. No basketball, no football, no baseball, no nothing. I'm done with the Razorbacks. They can take the Coca-Cola contract and drown for all I care in that Coca-Cola thing. They lose to Western Carolina. I'm done. I can't take this no more. Uh, anyways, please don't lose Razorbacks. All right, so here we go. Okay, let's see, because I'm trying not to forget. Like Rhode Island over Georgia State wouldn't surprise me one bit. That's not really. I wouldn't consider that, and I really wouldn't consider that an upset. Arkansas Pine Bluff over Tulsa. Tulsa is horrible. They're not that horrible. Uh, there's really, and of course, like I said, other than those, there's really not a whole lot of FCS games that you can really hype up this week, other than the ones I mentioned.
Yeah.
Northern Iowa over Iowa State, that could happen. Well, I think they beat Iowa State 3-4 years ago, something like that. Given there's that could be a good possibility.
Incarnate
But, I mean,
Word over UTEP as well.
Oh, that yes, Incarnate Word. They're going to be good again this year. Could be one. Last year they were the sleeper. Last year, they could run the table this year, possibly getting that top 8, top 4. And when it comes to the playoffs, I'm trying to make sure I did not miss any. No, I didn't miss anything else.
Okay.
And so yeah, we are good. We are good to go on the FCS side. Yes, I already mentioned Mercer, and then I've already been okay. I mean, UT Martin, they're ranked in the FCS. You think they got a chance to beat Georgia?
Could you imagine?
Dude.
Could you imagine?
Man, that would be legendary. Never going to happen, but that'd be legendary.
It would be. I would love it too. Like we would just
No.
like I think we would just open the show. UT Martin over.
I think that would be a bigger victory than App State over
it would
Michigan.
be. It would be.
It would be. Yeah, UT Martin is not preseason ranked, but they are getting votes to be preseason ranked. So, but it would still be absolutely great if that were to be the case, that UT Martin would upset the Georgia Bulldogs.
No, we got to.
What are the odds that Middle Tennessee beats the spread against Alabama?
What was the spread? Was like 38?
39.
39.
Alabama typically doesn't.
If you're about to say they don't run up the score, that's a damn lie.
No, but I'm just saying, like, if you look at some of the previous FCS schools that they've played, they typically don't do well against FCS schools.
Oh, Middle Tennessee is an FBS team.
I understand that. Oh, that's right. Never mind. I was thinking of something else. Never mind. Had a phrase. You're right.
No, I was looking at the Middle Tennessee Alabama spread too. I didn't really know how to feel about it personally, because Middle Tennessee, like, they've had like the same coach for like 15 years. He's always had the team competitive in some capacity. They always make a bowl game. They're just not like, championship level team in their conference, but like they always make a bowl game. Like they always like just do the bare minimum, I guess. So I was looking at that as well. I will say one line that I really like, and I'm not just because I'm just like riding the team, whatever, but I do like Hawaii's line quite a bit, because I think Stanford stinks. Like, I think Stanford and Hawaii, I think this is one of those games where Hawaii can actually have a legitimate shot to compete against them. One of the lines that I'm the most afraid of right now, and in the games that I'm afraid of going into it, is Nebraska and Minnesota. Like, it would not shock me now that we are in a post Tanner Morgan era for Minnesota, and Ibrahim as well is gone too. It would not shock me if Matt Rule and the Cornhuskers pop up in Minnesota and catch a dub. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't shock me. I don't think Nebraska's going to be great, but it just wouldn't shock me, man. Like, that's just one of those games that I've got my eye on. Another one as well is Fresno State Purdue, because both teams lost their quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, it's a new era for both teams. Like the question on these teams is,
did Purdue get a new coach?
Maybe. I don't remember. I don't remember. They got a transfer
think so.
quarterback from Texas, I think. But-
Okay, that's probably what it was.
Yeah. No, but that's one of those games that I think is going to be pretty competitive this weekend. I've already been hammering it for the past couple weeks. I'm gonna hammer it again. Watch out for them Huskies, baby. NC State and UConn. I'm not gonna say UConn's gonna win, but I think they can keep that game competitive. Don't be shocked if they keep the game competitive. That's all
What's
I'm
the
saying.
spread for that game?
So it's UConn plus 15. UConn
Wow.
money line is plus 525.
That's a lot smaller than what I expected.
Mhm.
I thought it was going to be around the 28 mark.
I'm just saying the Huskies are going to be a squad. Let's go UConn, baby. I'm here for it. No, one of the most interesting games this week is going to be also Florida and Utah, because natural instinct is that Utah is going to beat the shit out of them. And if they've got Cam Rising, they'll beat the shit out of them. But the funny thing is, like, we don't even know if Cam Rising is going to start. Like, we may not know until 5 minutes before game time if Cam Rising is going to start. So, like, I've seen, like, the line for it where it's only Utah -6. And I'm just like, that's interesting.
I think
Yeah.
it's so small because Cam Rising is still iffy. If he was, today announced he's going to be starting, that'll probably go up to around the 14 to 17 mark.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think Billy Napier needs to do something this year. I think he needs to at least show he's going to have some type of improvement from last year.
True.
Because Florida fans are so impatient. They're more impatient than Arkansas fans. They're not going to put up with it.
Yeah. Also, upset alert. Upset alert. That's something that I think we should start doing, by the way. Which, Ricky, you've already kind of taken the reins on that one, but you're doing FCS upset alert, which I love it. Keep doing it. But I think we should also look at just doing, like, our personal picks or potential upset alerts, like, just a team that's on the radar, because, like, one that we got to watch for, Boise State and Washington. I'm on Washington train here. Washington's going to catch that dub, but I'm just saying, Washington, they are on upset alert right now. Boise State could catch that win. I'm just saying. Okay, and another one, Jake, I'm sorry. Washington State's on upset alert with Colorado State. I'm just gonna. I got the Cougs.
I am pretty high on Colorado State this year, so I kind of agree with you.
I am too, man. I'm high on Colorado State, but I'm high on the Cougs too, man. I love me some.
Right,
I love the Cougs. But
if we're gonna do upset alert, I got a game for you.
All right, what you got?
A team that I predicted was not gonna do very good this year at all. I'm pretty sure I have them going. Yeah, I have them going 0 for this year, but I think Central Michigan has a good chance against Michigan State.
Yes, I think they do too, man. I think them. What's their team mascot? I forgot.
Who? Central Michigan?
Yeah. Is it like Chippewas?
Chippewas.
Yeah, that's what it is. Chippewas. Anyway, I think Central. I'm with you, man, because I've been eyeing the line. It's currently -14.5 for Michigan State. I'm just like, that's low. Like,
the craziest part is going into this season, Central Michigan was the weakest MAC team.
Yeah,
but it's only 14 points.
I know. No, Central Michigan. That's upset alert material. One game that is not as much of upset because I've already been saying it, and the line is pretty damn close. But I'm telling you right now. South Carolina over North Carolina. I'm booking that thing, baby. I'm booking that thing. Let's get it.
I would consider that an upset, though.
I agree with you, and I don't, because, I mean, people are so high on North Carolina, and they're not high on South Carolina, but I think people should be high on both. I think South Carolina.
I get it. With the recent success North Carolina's had versus South, I get it. I just would consider that an upset. But hey,
Yeah.
One game I don't think is going to be an upset, but I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be closer than what people think it's going to be.
Is it going to be Duke Clemson?
No, well, we'll get to that later.
Okay.
What about Miami? What about Miami, Ohio over Miami? Is that a good upset pick?
Don't do this to me. We got to win the Battle of Miami. This is the biggest game of the year for me.
I'm just putting it out there.
Kent State and UCF.
Really?
Look for Kent State to play a little competitive.
Man, don't do that to me either.
Timeout. You think Kid State's going to be competitive against UCF?
I do. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they will be competitive. Kent State
that's fair.
usually starts out the year up until about week 4, usually on average. They're pretty competitive.
Let's see here. Hey, Tyler, Temple's going to win this weekend. Can I believe Temple, Penn State? There's world. That's a rivalry. It's so stupid. Great.
Fuck Temple. Tyler, why?
How do they have Cal as a 7-point favorite against North Texas?
Right?
North Texas is good. Dude, that's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
North Texas should beat the crap out of them.
No, there's gonna be a lot of good games this weekend. Honestly, it's just not gonna be all the big dogs that everyone wants to watch. So it's like if you're a casual college football fan, this is not the weekend for you. Besides one game, but if you're a college football fan, then you will have a damn good weekend because, like I'm telling you right now, NC State, UConn, that's gonna be a fun competitive matchup. Stanford, Hawaii, that one's gonna be good. Let's see. Purdue and Fresno State's going to be interesting to watch. Colorado and TCU is going to be a lot closer than the spread gives on. I think UMass and Auburn could be a very interesting upset alert. I'm still going to throw that out there, man. I think that could be a really funny one to watch. Boise State Washington will be a good game. Let's see. UTSA Houston. Toledo and Illinois is one I've definitely got my eye on. North and South Carolina matchup, Texas Tech, Wyoming for sure. South Alabama, Tulane's gonna be a damn good game. I'll hammer that one. That's gonna be potentially South Alabama and Tulane. That's gonna be one of the best games of the week.
Yeah, I think South Alabama, Tulane. Yep, that should be a good game.
Yeah,
I agree.
And then Coastal Carolina and UCLA for sure as well. I'm looking forward to that one, especially seeing what UCLA is going to do in the new era at quarterback since whatever his name was, like Thompson Robinson, I think was his name. Last name, that is. Dorian, I think. Yeah, he got drafted, so they're a new era for them. And meanwhile, Coastal Carolina's still got their guy who no one wanted in the transfer portal. But, that's going to be a fun match. No, there's a lot of good games this weekend. Oregon State and San Jose State will be fun to watch. Of course, we have LSU and Florida State. Clemson, Duke, that was the one that people need to keep their eye on. Because that one's an upset alert potentially for Clemson, or Clemson's going to come in and this Cade is going to be absolutely incredible. We'll see. But no, lots of great games this weekend, man. I'm very excited, especially just in the betting aspect. I've got a lot of bets in right now. Like I've got a lot of parlays. I've got small parlays, big parlays. I've got single bets. I'm pumped. I'm projecting a good weekend of betting, boys. This week's got a lot of gimmies, in my opinion. A lot of gimmies, so I'm excited for it. Boys, what is your most anticipated game this week? Single most anticipated game.
The only reason I'm going to say LSU Florida State, even though that's the obvious answer, is because that could be playoff implications.
That's fair.
I have high expectations, obviously, for both teams this year.
I would probably choose Colorado TCU game.
That was going to be one of my picks because I think
I'm really interested to see how the transfers are going to do at Colorado,
I agree.
Especially against what in theory is a weakened TCU team.
I agree 100%. In terms of like most anticipated, like it's probably Colorado TCU for that exact reason. I want to see what Colorado is going to look like with all of the transfers and stuff they've got. Other than that, I'm telling you, for me, it'd be North Carolina, South Carolina. I'm very excited to see this game because I really think South Carolina can get that dub.
Of course, Deion's boy, I think he's going to be the starting quarterback for Colorado.
Yep.
We're going to see if he can play against a true Division I team.
Yep.
Other than the FCS schools he's been playing against.
Yeah, and then Travis Hunter, who was formerly a number one recruit in the nation, playing wide receiver and DB for Colorado. So, and then they've got numerous other transfers as well, So that's gonna be a very interesting game to watch. My instinct is that TCU is gonna win, still. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think it's going to be. Or at least the betting spread thinks it's going to be. So I'm excited. Excited to see Texas Tech play as well against Wyoming. I think Texas Tech is going to be a really good team. But in terms of like a game that could overall just be potentially the best game of the week, I still think it could be South Alabama Tulane. I think that could literally be like potentially the best game of the week in contention with LSU Florida State. If LSU and Florida State isn't the best game of the week, I'll be pretty shocked. Because of, like what Ricky said, like this is like playoff implications kind of thing. But South Alabama and Tulane is one that people have got to watch for. This is gonna be a damn good football game. So I'm pretty pumped. Just waiting for it, man. This is gonna be a great weekend. I got Starfield, college football, 3-day weekend, bro. Good weekend for me ahead. I am very, very excited. Let's see, boys. Do you have anything else that you guys want to chat about? You know, I know we've only been on the show for like an hour, but you know we don't have a lot of football to fully react to. That's gonna be next week. Plus, we have NFL, games to predict next week. Do you guys have anything that we want to chat about, or do we want to start going through our picks and stuff?
I think I got one more thing to talk about.
All right, what you got?
One game that I think is going to be pretty competitive. I think, honestly, it might be one of the most exciting or more exciting low-tier games this week is Maine versus Florida International.
Ooh, okay.
The Florida International Louisiana Tech game was pretty entertaining, to me at least.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 17-22 final score with Florida International losing, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Ricky might be onto something with Florida International. Who knows?
He may be onto something. No, that's a good one because Maine's not a bad squad over in FCS. They're not great, but they're not bad. So
they're usually ranked every year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So pair them up against FIU. I mean, no, that you're right. That could be a pretty good little matchup there. I'm excited for our terrible game of the week. I will say that. We'll get. I've made sure not to shout the game out. We'll get to it when we go through our picks. But I'm excited for our terrible game of the week as well. That's one that I will be checking out. All right, boys. Do you guys have anything else? If not, honestly, I feel like we can probably hit the picks, work our way out of here. You know, I know it's only been like an hour show, but we've only had a handful of games of college. Next week we have a whole slate of college. We have NFL to predict. Next week is when shit really pops off for us. Boys, how we feeling?
Let's go Southeast Missouri State.
All right, I love to hear it.
Let's
Red
go
Hawks,
UT Martin.
baby.
Let's go
Red
UT
Hawks,
Martin.
baby. Oh yes,
UT Martin over
too.
Georgia.
UT
Let's
Martin
get
too.
it. All right, boys. I'm gonna hit the music, and we're gonna go through picks. It's pick time. I got pick music on. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, boys. Going through the picks here on Run Your Pool. Again, you can compete against us. You can join for free. It's down in the description below to compete for college and NFL. There will be a prize if you win, so shout out to that. And it's all free. Come in and compete. Run Your Pool is a great site to use. All right, so kicking things off, boys, we have NC State, the Wolfpack, against UConn Huskies. How we feeling? It's at UConn.
Give me North Carolina State.
Okay.
Yeah, give me North Carolina State. Come on, Alex. Please.
Please, you say. See, I don't know how spicy I want to be with all my picks across the board because I may be calling I'm kind of feeling multiple upsets, honestly. You know what? Just because it's been my meme and I've been riding with them, give me the Huskies, baby. Give me the Huskies over the Wolfpack at home. Let's go. All right, next up, Florida at Utah. Give me Utah in this one.
Yeah, this one came down. I was kind of surprised Florida won this game last year, but this time it's in Utah. Golly. You know what? Screw it. Give me the Gators.
Wow.
Give me Utah. I'm not senile.
Okay. All right, boys. Nebraska at Minnesota. Are we feeling game one for Matt Rule's Nebraska era as a dub, or are you going to lock in the Golden Gophers?
I'll take the Gophers.
Yeah, I'm pretty high on Minnesota this year. Give me Minnesota.
Give me the Gophers. All right, the Battle of Miami. Miami of Ohio, Miami of Florida. Who we got? You know who it's all about. Give me the Canes, baby.
Yeah, I mean, typically Miami plays pretty good against crappy teams, even though Miami, Ohio is not really considered a crappy team. But give me the U. I'll take Miami U.
Hammer me down for the Red Hawks.
What?
Woo! I love it.
How could you do this to me after all the OHs I did with you last year?
I'm sorry, man. I will.
Hey! There is OH in Ohio, Miami, Ohio.
How dare you do this to me? You bastard. All right, Stanford and Hawaii. You know who it's about. Let's go Bows, baby.
Yeah, Stanford's going to win the Pac-12 this year. I got Stanford.
Whoa, calm down. What are you
I'm
doing?
joking. I'm joking. I've got Hawaii.
Yeah!
Yeah, give me the Bows, man.
Yeah! Let's go! All right, Colorado, TCU. Are we going to pull for Deion Sanders' first game as a dub, or are you just going to lock in the Horned Frogs?
I'm locking the Horned Frogs just because you have a lot more talent who's been stable, who's been under a program for more than 30 seconds. Now, next year, it could be a different story. But, yeah, this year, I'm going to stick with TCU.
Colorado's going to shock the world week 1. Give me Colorado.
Give me Colorado,
like it.
baby. Let's go. That's who I'm locking in.
I like it. I like it.
All right, NIU and Boston College.
This one's tough because a lot of people, for some of the articles that I've been reading, there are some that think Boston College is going to be pretty good this year.
10-2, baby. 10-2.
Give me Boston College.
Give me Boston College. 10-2. Here we go.
Give me my Huskies, man. They're going to be so damn good this year.
That is true. That is true.
All right, one of the big question mark games, Fresno State and Purdue.
I don't know who to choose on this one.
This one's tough.
For the simple fact is that both teams are going to be basically starting over. Well, at least Purdue's going to be basically starting over again. Give me the upset. I'll take Fresno State.
Give me Purdue.
Give me Purdue as well. That one's tough. That one's like a coin flip for me, but give me Purdue on it. All right, Boise State at number 10 ranked Washington. Give me the Huskies, but I'm telling you, this is an upset alert game.
I don't think the Huskies are going to be as hyped up as what everybody's putting them to be. I'm going to take Boise State.
It's going to be a fun game. Give me Washington.
Okay. Cal and North Texas. Give me Cal, actually.
I'm surprised that Cal has a 7-point favorite in this. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me why they.
You want to know a
they
bigger
would.
surprise about Cal?
What's that?
Tyler sent me this. I wouldn't have believed it if he didn't send it to me, because me and him were talking about the pack and how competitive they're going to be. And he even pointed out that even the lower half of the pack is all ranked fairly high. Cal is ranked like 68th in the nation out of 133 teams. I was just like, when he showed me that, I was like, are you shitting me?
That is true. I'm really high on North Texas this year. Give me North Texas.
Yeah, give me the mean green.
All right. UTSA and Houston.
I'll take UTSA. I don't think Houston's going to be as good as what they're hyped up to be.
I agree.
UTSA, baby. Let's go Roadrunners. North Carolina at South Carolina. You know who it's about. Give me the Cocks. Shane's Cocks are going to be ready this Saturday.
I agree. I think South Carolina is going to win this game.
Geographically, North Carolina is on top. Give me North Carolina.
Wow. All right. The Toledo Rockets versus Illinois. Who we got?
This would be the second time that Toledo would beat Brett Bielema, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not betting for Brett Bielema in this game. Toledo.
Yeah, give me the Rockets, actually. Yeah, give me the Rockets. If it would have been last year's Illinois team, I would say Illinois. But I think they lost some very important pieces on defense and on offense. Give me the Rockets. I think the Rockets could legitimately go 12-0 this year. ODU and Virginia Tech.
This is a trap game because ODU, if I'm not mistaken, they've beaten Virginia Tech two of the last 5 times or something like that. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. Dadgummit, I know if I pick Virginia Tech, it doesn't matter who I pick. The opposite team's going to win, so I'll pick Virginia Tech.
ODU then.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Old Dominion.
All right, South Alabama at Tulane.
This one's going to be good.
Yep.
Because both teams have really, really high expectations per se. The only reason I'm going to take South Alabama is because Tulane lost quite a bit last year. Give me South Alabama.
Thing about Tulane though, they still got their quarterback who played well last year. So give me the green wave in this one in a close battle.
I think South Alabama could very well be a New Year's Six team. I'm going to take the Jaguars.
That's fair. All right, next up, Jackson State at Florida A&M. Maybe a neutral site game, I think, but either way, Jackson State at Florida A&M.
I'm going to take Jackson State, even though I think they did look pretty good last week, but they didn't play anybody last week. Let's see, I'm trying to think who they played last week. Was it South Carolina State or some crappy school like that? I can't remember who it was. Give me Florida A&M.
Yeah, I'm taking Florida A&M as well.
Yeah, give me the Rattlers. That's their name, right?
I think.
Close enough. All right, next up, Clemson at Duke. Are you guys going to pick the big upset on this one or just rock with Clemson?
I want to. I really want to pull this trigger because I think Duke is going to be a lot better than what people are going to expect them to be. But Clemson, usually in the first couple of weeks, usually pretty good. Anytime Clemson gets an upset on them, it's usually a little bit later in the season than this. Give me Clemson.
Give me Clemson as well.
I struggled with this one, honestly. Even when we did our predictions, I struggled. Our conference predictions, I struggled with this one as well. I'm really high on Duke. I had them going 9-3 this year, but I also had Clemson going 10-2. Give me the Tigers.
Okay. All right, we are now into Game of the Week's territory. We got 3 Game of the Week scores for FCS, FBS, and terrible Game of the Week. First Game of the Week, we have FCS. We have Wagner, which has been a team of the past that has been in the slot of terrible Game of the Week. And look at them now, bumping up, moving up in life for Game of the Week versus Fordham. Boys, who do we got?
I'm going to take Fordham. Fordham's actually ranked this year in the top 25. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Wagner is anywhere near the top 25. I don't think they're getting votes. But I will say this much about Florida A&M, gentlemen. Florida A&M is preseason ranked 23 in the FCS. So picking Florida A&M over Jackson State is probably not a bad idea. So in this game, give me Fordham.
Give me Fordham as well.
Fordham got absolutely destroyed, though, against Albany, 34-13. That's terrible.
That is bad.
Wagner.
I didn't think they played last week.
Yeah, they played 3 days ago.
Interesting. Well, had I known that, I probably would have picked Wagner. That's okay. I'll stick with Fordham.
All right, next up we have FBS Game of the Week. To no one's surprise, it's LSU and Florida State. This game has huge playoff implications right out of the gate at week 1. I'm going to rock with fuck Florida State. I said in my predictions I thought they were going to go 12-0. This is going to be a very tight game. It won't shock me if LSU wins, but I'm going with fuck Florida State, unfortunately.
I'm going to feel very confident in this. I'm going to take LSU.
In confidence, okay.
In confidence, I think, because they played each other last year, and Florida State won this game last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I don't think they lose 2 years in a row. I have, like I said, I have high expectations for both teams, but I think LSU is going to win this game. I got LSU.
I still have Florida State losing week 1 and week 13. Give me LSU.
I'm the one riding Florida State then. I wonder who Shane's going to ride with. Okay. All right. And then lastly, my favorite game every single week. Drum roll, please, boys. We have the terrible football game of the week. We're going up to Jacobs country. We're going to the Big Ten this week, boys, because we have Northwestern Wildcats going over to Jersey Shore, facing the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
You sound like a black preacher there for a second.
give me Rutgers, baby. Let's go.
It's like, let me tell you about my Northwestern Wildcats as they go up to Rutgers, and they're going to demolish Rutgers, even though Northwestern barely has a coach. Give me Rutgers.
Give me the Scarlet Knights, baby.
Oh, you guys are riding high on Rutgers for this game. What the hell?
I'm just here for the
Hey,
memes.
In all fairness, I don't know who Northwestern's coach is. They're going through a lot of investigation stuff. They're completely. I mean, don't get me wrong. Rutgers is completely horrible, but it's
Yep.
Northwestern for crying out loud.
Northwestern has a better defense than Rutgers, and that is the only reason why I'm going to be taking the Wildcats.
That's fair. I'm just
enough.
here for the memes. The memes that I randomly started in our Discord where you were just like, I just went to an 11 overtime game. I'm like, with Rutgers? Oh man. No, I'm looking forward to all the games this week. And honestly, I'm really excited for next week's games too, because I've already been looking at next week's schedule, trying to find like terrible game of the week candidates, FCS game of the week candidates and stuff. For FCS game of the week, I think next week is already a lock. I'll go ahead and tell you boys that right now. Week 2, we already have one of the biggest matchups all year long right out of the gate. Next week, we have number 1, South Dakota State facing number 3, Montana State. Right out of the gate. Right out of the gate.
Definitely the FCS game of the week, without a doubt.
No, we've got a lot of fun matchups next week. Like, let me just go down the list for you. We've got Texas A&M, Miami. We have UCF, Boise State, Memphis, Arkansas State. We have Vandy and Wake Forest. Let's see, Notre Dame, NC State, Troy and Kansas State, Nebraska,
Texas
Colorado.
A&M, Miami.
Yep. Let's see.
Illinois, Kansas is going to be pretty fun, I think.
Iowa State, Ole Miss, Tulane. That one's going to be good. A lot of good matchups next week. Southern Illinois, Northern Illinois.
Kansas State's going to start 0-2 after losing this weekend, and they're going to lose to Troy next week.
Ooh, really throwing the spice out. Their season's over in that case.
I'm
I have
joking.
K-State.
If
I
that's
have
the case,
K-State in the
that's-
top 6 this year.
Ole Miss Tulane's next week. Golly, there are a lot of good games this next week.
Texas, Alabama next week too. So Oregon, Texas Tech as well. No, next week's going to be, that's when shit really pops. You know, we got a lot of good matchups this week. I'm telling you, boys, next week's when shit pops. Wisconsin, Washington State as well. That's going to be a good game. Lots of good games next week, boys. Football's back, baby. I'm here for it. And then next week also we have NFL kickoff. Man, football's back. I'm ready for it. All right, boys. You guys got anything else? I'm going to hit our actual intro music. We're going to get out of here.
I'm scared.
Should be. What are you scared about? What exactly are you scared about in this case?
Everything. I'm scared about Ohio State's defense. I'm scared that the Cowboys have to play the Giants at New York week 1. You know what I'm not scared about though? I'm gonna win this Run Your Pool, both of them this year.
No. I'm coming for blood this year, okay? I'm not gonna let you over here, I'm not gonna let you trick me into all these games that I'm gonna lose. Can I ride the high with you in the moment? I'm gonna ride my own high, and I'm gonna pick the games that I want to ride my high on. I'm gonna pick the actual games I think is gonna win. I let you convince me into a lot of games last year. I fell for your traps.
It's gonna be a really up and down weekend for you, by the way, Alex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Hawaii's gonna win, Miami's gonna lose.
Whoa. That's both on Friday too, by the way. Both those games on Friday for me.
Man, it's gonna be a shit Friday, but it's gonna be a great Friday at the end.
Nah, it's gonna be a great Friday, my guy. It's gonna be number 1, payday. Number 2, start of my 3-day weekend. Number 3, Starfield. Number 4, Miami's gonna win the Battle of Miami, and number 5, Hawaii's gonna beat Stanford. It's gonna be a great Friday. I think I'm getting Popeyes on Friday. That sounds awesome. Let's go. It's gonna be a damn good Friday, baby. Let's go. All right, boys. We're gonna get out of here. If you listen all the way to the end, we appreciate the hell out of you. Make sure to come back next week for all of our predictions. Join our polls and everything to compete against us. And we will be back next week. Football is back. It's a great time to be alive. See you next time. Bye.